Billions of dollars in trade to and from the United States is in jeopardy at one of the world's most important shipping routes, the Panama Canal.
An extreme drought in Panama is forcing authorities to substantially scale back shipping through the Panama Canal, one of the world's key shipping channels.
In the vast expanse of time, the theory of supply stands as a cornerstone in the consumer chain, with transportation emerging as one of its vital arteries. How do we efficiently transport tons of commodities across continents? This question has long pummeled the minds of economists. Canals have historically offered a monumental solution to this challenge. However, they are not immune to the whims and caprices of nature's bleak hands, as seen in instances of water scarcity due to prolonged droughts. How does such vulnerability impact global trade? What implications does it hold for commodity prices? Join us as we explore.
The canal is one of the most important waterways in the Western Hemisphere and typically carries 5% of the world's maritime trade.
It's over. The Panama Canal has finally dried up. The Panama Canal. The Panama Canal, an 82-kilometer engineering marvel, functions as a vital artery connecting the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans through the Isthmus of Panama. This artificial waterway, a conduit for global maritime trade, stands as a towering testament to human ingenuity and ambition. At the heart of the canal's operation are its locks, strategically placed at each end to lift ships up to Gatun Lake, an artificial reservoir created by damming the Chagres River and Lake Alajuela. This elevation of 26 meters above sea level significantly reduces the need for extensive excavation, making the passage more efficient. Upon reaching Gatun Lake, ships are then lowered to continue their journey. Each transit through the canal consumes a staggering average of 200 million liters of fresh water, highlighting the immense scale of its operation. The Panama Canal serves as a vital shortcut for global maritime trade, drastically reducing the time it takes for ships to travel between the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans. Before its construction, ships faced the arduous and hazardous journey around the southern tip of South America, navigating the treacherous waters of the Drake Passage or the Strait of Magellan. The canal's completion revolutionized international shipping, offering a safer and more expedient route. However, how long can the world rely on this climate-reliant service? The origins of the canal date back to the late 19th century when France embarked on the ambitious task of constructing a waterway through the isthmus. However, due to engineering challenges and a high mortality rate among workers, the project was halted. It wasn't until the United States assumed control in 1904 that significant progress was made. After years of tireless effort, the canal officially opened in 1914, under American stewardship. For decades, the United States maintained control over the canal and its surrounding territory until the Torrijos-Carter Treaties of 1977 paved the way for its transfer to Panama. Since then, the Panama Canal Authority, a government-owned entity, has overseen its management and operation. In response to growing demand and the need to accommodate larger vessels, the canal underwent a monumental expansion project. The construction of a third, wider lane of locks, completed in 2016, marked a new chapter in the canal's history. These Neo-Panamax locks enable the transit of larger ships, further enhancing the canal's capacity and efficiency. The Panama Canal's significance in global trade cannot be overstated. From its humble beginnings to its status as a modern engineering marvel, it has facilitated the movement of goods and commodities on an unprecedented scale. Annual traffic through the canal has soared, reflecting its indispensable role in the maritime industry. Today, the Panama Canal stands as a symbol of human achievement, recognized by the American Society of Civil Engineers as one of the 7 wonders of the modern world. Its legacy endures as a testament to the power of innovation and perseverance in overcoming geographical barriers and shaping the course of history. How was the idea for the Panama Canal conceived? The ambitious endeavor to construct a canal through Panama commenced on January 1, 1881, inspired by the success of Ferdinand de Lesseps in building the Suez Canal. With considerable funds raised in France, he acquired the rights to the land in Panama in 1882. The Panama Canal project aimed to connect the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans, traversing the Isthmus of Panama. Despite being only 40% of the length of the Suez Canal, the Panama Canal posed significant engineering challenges due to the dense tropical rainforests, harsh climate, and the necessity for canal locks. Ferdinand de Lesseps, envisioning a sea-level canal like the Suez, made only occasional visits to the site, primarily during the dry season. However, the realities of the tropical climate were starkly different. The Chagres River, where the canal originated, swelled into a raging torrent during the rainy season, reaching heights of up to 10 meters. Moreover, the dense jungle harbored a plethora of venomous creatures, including snakes, insects, and spiders. Yet, their most formidable foes were the rampant diseases, such as yellow fever and malaria, which claimed the lives of thousands of workers. By 1884, the death toll exceeded 200 per month, exacerbated by the lack of understanding regarding disease vectors like mosquitoes. The construction efforts required continual widening of the main cut through the Culebra Mountain and the mitigation of landslides. Steam shovels, acquired from Bay City Industrial Works, and bucket chain excavators were employed in the daunting task. However, the equipment faced limitations, and steel components rapidly succumbed to rust in the relentless rainy climate. Despite mounting challenges and dwindling progress, Lesseps persisted in maintaining the flow of investment and workforce. However, the project succumbed to bankruptcy in 1889, having expended an estimated $287 million and witnessed the loss of approximately 22,000 lives. The ensuing scandal, known as the Panama Scandal, led to legal repercussions for those deemed responsible, including Gustave Eiffel, the future mastermind of the famous Paris Tower. Lesseps and his son Charles were convicted of misappropriation of funds, though the elder Lesseps, aged 88, escaped imprisonment. In 1894, a second French company, the Compagnie Nouvelle du Canal de Panama, assumed control of the project. Despite minimal progress, efforts were made to maintain the franchise and assets. Philippe Bunau-Varilla, the company's manager, advocated for a lock and lake canal as a more feasible alternative. A technical committee, the Comité Technique, was convened to devise a comprehensive plan for the canal. Their proposal, unveiled in 1898, outlined a lock canal with high-level lakes to facilitate ship passage over the Continental Divide. This plan bore striking similarities to the eventual canal constructed by the Americans in 1914 amidst the backdrop of the First World War. The proposed canal featured 8 sets of locks, strategically located on both the Atlantic and Pacific sides. Artificial lakes formed by damming the Chagres River would serve dual purposes of flood control and power generation. Despite the setbacks of the French endeavors, their contributions laid the groundwork for subsequent efforts, shaping the blueprint for the Panama Canal's eventual realization under American stewardship. With the canal now fully under the control of the USA, they specified the dimensions which set the standards for the modern vessels. Come the 1970s, the Panamanian government were tired of feeding out of the palms of the Americans, so efforts were made to take back control of the canal. These demands went on until 1999, when the Panamans took back control of this maritime artery of global trade. The Panman Lock System, a breakdown. The Panama Canal lock system is a marvel of engineering ingenuity, serving as the backbone of one of the world's most important maritime routes. Comprising a series of interconnected chambers, gates, and hydraulic mechanisms, the lock system allows vessels to traverse the Panama Canal, navigating the elevation difference between the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans with ease. At the heart of the lock system are the chambers, massive concrete structures that function as water-filled chambers. Each chamber is equipped with a pair of giant steel gates at either end, which can be opened or closed to control the flow of water and facilitate the movement of vessels. When a ship enters the lock chamber, the gates close behind it, creating a watertight enclosure. The lock chambers are connected by a system of culverts and valves, which regulate the flow of water and maintain the desired water levels within the chambers. To raise or lower a vessel, water is either added to or drained from the chambers, effectively raising or lowering the ship to the level of the adjacent waterway. The operation of the lock system is powered by a sophisticated network of hydraulic machinery, including pumps, valves, and motors. These components work in tandem to control the flow of water and manipulate the position of the lock gates, ensuring the safe and efficient passage of vessels through the canal. One of the most remarkable features of the Panama Canal lock system is its ability to accommodate vessels of varying sizes. The chambers are designed to accommodate ships of up to Panamax size, with dimensions carefully calibrated to maximize efficiency and minimize wasted space. In recent years, the canal has undergone a significant expansion to accommodate even larger vessels, known as new Panamax ships, which require even larger lock chambers and more powerful hydraulic systems. The commercial importance of the canal. The Panama Canal, a marvel of human ingenuity nestled within the lush landscapes of Central America, represents far more than a mere feat of engineering. Like a mighty river coursing through the heart of global commerce, its waters connect distant shores, bridging the gap between the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans with a fluidity that mirrors the ebb and flow of international trade. Its strategic location at the crossroads of continents serves as a beacon beckoning ships to chart a course through its storied waters, offering a shortcut through the fabric of time and space. In the tapestry of maritime trade, the Panama Canal weaves a thread of efficiency, reducing transit times and cutting costs like a skilled seamstress crafting a masterpiece. By circumventing the treacherous journey around the southern tip of South America, vessels glide through its locks with the grace of dancers on a stage, and their movements choreographed to the rhythm of the commercial world. Yet the canal is more than just a conduit for ships. It is a lifeline for nations and economies, breathing vitality into global trade networks like the pulse of a beating heart. Its expanded locks, introduced in 2016, stand as monuments to progress, welcoming larger vessels with open arms and expanding the horizons of commerce. Like a rising tide lifting all boats, the canal's capacity for growth lifts the fortunes of nations, opening doors to new markets and opportunities. In the tapestry of maritime trade, the Panama Canal weaves a thread of resilience, diversifying routes and safeguarding against the vagaries of fate like a sturdy anchor in a stormy sea. As geopolitical currents shift and the winds of change blow, the canal remains steadfast, offering an alternative path for ships seeking safe harbor. Its role in global supply chains is akin to a silent conductor guiding the symphony of trade, orchestrating the movement of goods with precision and grace. Yet the canal's importance transcends the realm of economics. It is a symbol of human ingenuity and ambition, a testament to what can be achieved when vision meets determination. Like a beacon of progress lighting the way forward, it inspires awe and admiration, reminding us of our capacity to overcome obstacles and reshape the world around us. In the grand theater of global commerce, the Panama Canal takes center stage, its waters flowing with the dreams and aspirations of nations. As ships navigate its locks and traverse its waters, they carry with them the hopes of a world united by trade and interconnectedness. In the end, the Panama Canal is more than just a waterway. It is a lifeline, a gateway to new horizons, and a testament to the power of human endeavor to shape the course of history. The importance of the Panama Canal cannot be overstated, as it carries approximately 6% of the world's maritime trade flowing through a designated water route. Should anything happen to disrupt the passage of these vessels over this canal, how does it impact global maritime trade? How has the canal affected the price of commodity? Since the inception of the Panama Canal, maritime trade has undergone a profound transformation, reshaping global shipping routes and influencing the prices of commodities such as electronics and coffee. This pivotal waterway has rendered obsolete the perilous and circuitous sea routes around the southern tip of South America, offering vessels a direct passage between the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans. The implications of this shift extend far beyond mere convenience. They ripple through the intricate web of global supply chains, leaving an indelible mark on the cost and availability of goods. In the realm of commerce, time is a precious currency, and the Panama Canal has emerged as a potent catalyst for cost savings. By halving the journey for vessels navigating between major trading hubs, the canal effectively compresses the timelines for transporting commodities like electronics and coffee. This reduction in transit time translates directly into lower transportation costs, as ships spend fewer days at sea and consume less fuel. The ripple effect of this efficiency gains momentum as goods traverse supply chains, ultimately culminating in reduced prices for imported commodities. Consider, for instance, the journey of a shipment of electronics from manufacturing centers in Asia to consumer markets in North America. Prior to the Panama Canal's existence, such voyages would have entailed a lengthy detour around Cape Horn or through the Strait of Magellan, fraught with hazards and delays. However, with the advent of the canal, this arduous route has been supplanted by a more direct path, slashing transit times and streamlining logistics operations. As a result, the cost of transporting electronics is significantly lower, enabling retailers to pass on these savings to consumers in the form of competitive pricing. Similarly, the impact of the Panama Canal extends to commodities like coffee, whose journey from Latin American coffee-producing countries to global markets has been similarly revolutionized. The canal's role in facilitating expedited transit for vessels carrying coffee shipments translates into tangible benefits for producers, exporters, and consumers alike. By reducing the time and resources required to transport coffee beans to their destination, the canal contributes to greater efficiency and cost-effectiveness throughout the supply chain. This, in turn, helps stabilize prices in the coffee market and ensures a steady flow of goods to meet consumer demand. Moreover, the introduction of larger vessels, such as the Panamax and New Panamax, heralds a new era of economies of scale in maritime transportation. These behemoths of the seas not only optimize the utilization of cargo space, but also offer enhanced efficiency and cost-effectiveness. By accommodating greater volumes of cargo per transit, these vessels further amplify the cost-saving benefits of the Panama Canal, magnifying its impact on the prices of commodities transported through its waters. The Panama Canal's influence on the prices of commodities like electronics and coffee is multifaceted and profound. By streamlining shipping routes, reducing transit times, and enabling the efficient transport of goods, the canal drives cost savings throughout the supply chain, ultimately leading to lower prices for consumers. As the global economy continues to evolve, the Panama Canal remains a linchpin of international trade, shaping the dynamics of commerce and fostering economic prosperity on a global scale. The Gatun Lake, a freshwater reservoir nestled amidst the verdant landscapes of Panama, serves as a crucial component of the intricate system that is the Panama Canal. As one of the largest artificial lakes in the world, Gatun Lake holds a storied history and plays a multifaceted role in the operations of the Panama Canal, serving as both a vital waterway and a thriving ecosystem. Constructed in 1913 through the damming of the Chagres River, Gatun Lake was a monumental engineering feat of its time. The closure of the spillway gates at Gatun Dam marked the birth of this expansive reservoir, which spans approximately 470 square kilometers, which is about 180 square miles, and sits at an elevation of approximately 26 meters, approximately 85 feet above sea level. Its creation was instrumental in the realization of the Panama Canal project, providing the millions of liters of water necessary to operate the canal's locks each time a vessel traverses its waters. The geographical layout of Gatun Lake is characterized by its meandering shores, dotted with islands and bordered by dense rainforests. One of its most notable features is Barro Colorado Island, the largest island in the lake, which was established for scientific study and is operated by the Smithsonian Institution. This island serves as a haven for biodiversity, hosting a myriad of plant and animal species that thrive in its undisturbed habitat. Beyond its ecological significance, Gatun Lake plays a pivotal role in sustaining human life in the region. It serves as a vital source of drinking water for the bustling cities of Panama City and Colon, meeting the needs of thousands of residents and supporting the region's burgeoning population. Additionally, the lake provides recreational opportunities for locals and visitors alike, with angling emerging as one of the primary pursuits on its tranquil waters. However, the creation of Gatun Lake was not without its consequences. The introduction of non-native species, such as peacock bass, has had a profound impact on the lake's ecosystem. Originally introduced in the late 1960s, peacock bass have proliferated in Gatun Lake, becoming the dominant angling game fish. While prized by anglers for their fighting spirit, these invasive species have wreaked havoc on native fish populations, leading to a decline in biodiversity and ecological imbalance. Despite efforts to mitigate their impact, the native fish populations have struggled to recover, with only a fraction of the species found in previous years. In the context of the Panama Canal, Gatun Lake serves as a vital component of the canal's intricate lock system. The lake's vast reservoir of water is essential for the operation of the canal's locks, which raise and lower vessels as they navigate the waterway. Each transit through the canal consumes a significant amount of water from Gatun Lake, highlighting its indispensable role in facilitating maritime trade and navigation. Gatun Lake stands as a testament to the ingenuity of human engineering and the resilience of natural ecosystems. Its creation represents a triumph of human ambition, yet its continued existence relies on a delicate balance between human activity and environmental stewardship. As a vital component of the Panama Canal and a haven for biodiversity, Gatun Lake serves as a reminder of the interconnectedness of humanity and the natural world, underscoring the importance of sustainable practices in preserving our planet for future generations. The lake, using the sheer force of gravity, raises and lowers vessels above the continental divide, and then lowers them back to sea level, as each passage uses at least 52 million gallons of water. Now, with an expansion of the canal for the facilitation of bigger vessels, there's a casual surge in the demand for more water, which begs the question, what happens if they cannot channel more water into the artificial lake? What is the negative impact it can have on world maritime trade? What can be done to allay the fears of a prolonged drought? Vulnerabilities of the canal. El Niño. The drought isn't an unforeseen circumstance as it is expected as a normal climate change. However, this new drought has never been before seen. It is a complete aberration which transcends normal climate change. The water levels of the Gatun Lake have dropped beyond the lowest water levels ever seen in Lake Gatun in nearly a century. For this reason, the Panama government enforced a draft restriction on ships curtailing the volume of cargo they can have aboard a vessel so that they do not sink deep in the water, and this way they consume less water throughout the voyage. What implication does this draft restriction have over the prices of commodities? The draft restrictions suggest carrying less cargo, which means more trips, which translates to heavy costs. Costs which are then levied on the prices of the goods, thereby affecting the dynamics of global trade. During El Niño, the weakening of trade winds resulted in the movement of warm water towards the western coast of the Americas. This phenomenon, whose name translates to little boy in Spanish, was first observed by South American fishermen in the 1600s, who referred to it as El Niño de Navidad, noting its peak around December. It plays a pivotal role in this unfolding scenario. It occurs between 2 to 7 years while disrupting weather patterns and triggering extreme weather events such as droughts, floods, and heavy rainfall. In its most basic form, it impacts and alters wind patterns and the upwelling of the Pacific Ocean. Consequently, it often causes decreased rainfall in parts of South America, including Panama. The impact of El Niño on weather patterns can be significant. The warmer ocean waters cause the Pacific jet stream to shift southward from its usual position. This alteration leads to drier and warmer conditions in northern regions of the US and Canada, while areas in the US Gulf Coast and Southeast experience increased precipitation, often resulting in flooding. El Niño also exerts a profound influence on marine ecosystems along the Pacific coast. Under normal conditions, upwelling currents bring nutrient-rich cold water from the depths to the surface, supporting abundant phytoplankton growth. However, during El Niño events, upwelling weakens or ceases altogether, leading to a reduction in phytoplankton populations. This, in turn, impacts fish populations dependent on phytoplankton for sustenance, creating a ripple effect throughout the marine food web. Additionally, the influx of warmer waters during El Niño can attract tropical species such as yellowtail and albacore tuna to regions typically too cold to support them. Meteorologists have noticed intense patterns in their studies predicting a more intense El Niño events. The outlook on Panama is quite grim as the canal proves to be one of the main sources of income for the Panama government. The warning bells have been chiming for a year now. In July 2023, the Canal de Panama released a circular highlighting the late arrival of the year's rainy season and a lack of precipitation in the canal watershed, obliging them to reduce the transit capacity to 32 vessels per day. However, it would seem that a year wasn't enough time to prepare the handlers of the supply route of over 6% of the world's trade to find a solution to the problem. Furthermore, as a result of the El Niño, Lake Gatun can no longer be assured consistent rainfall, which was the only source they relied on while building it. Although it was a monumental marvel at the inception of its creation, the builders did not plan for a prolonged drought, proving to be a serious flaw in their design. Where do we go from here? How does the Panama Canal address this? The canal incorporates a water-saving basin system to recycle some of the water utilized in each lockage. However, it isn't sufficient to counter the drought, hence, the Canal Authority has resorted to other unprecedented means like a sudden surge of fresh water supply and desalination. The canal's reliance on innovative water-saving measures underscores the delicate balance between human intervention and environmental resilience. However, this only brings more questions than answers. Will these methods be enough to keep pace with the ever-changing climate? In contrast to the Suez Canal, a sea-level waterway without locks depends on the natural ebb and flow of the Mediterranean and Red Sea. This suggests the difference in susceptibility to prolonged drought. As much as the Panama Canal is an engineering marvel of the 20th century that speaks to the ingenious of men, it is also a reminder that nature cannot be completely taken out of the equation. Will the canal cope with the increasing demands of the global market? The future of the Panama Canal is faced with optimism and uncertainty owing to the recent unpredictability of climate change. As the demands of the global market continue to escalate, propelled by rapid industrialization and burgeoning trade networks, the Panama Canal stands at a pivotal crossroads. On one hand, its historical significance as a vital conduit for maritime commerce imbues it with resilience and adaptability, reflecting centuries of human ingenuity in overcoming geographical barriers. Yet the specter of climate change looms large, casting a shadow of doubt over its long-term viability. Climate change poses multifaceted challenges to the Panama Canal's operations. The increasing frequency and intensity of extreme weather events, such as hurricanes and droughts, threaten to disrupt shipping schedules and infrastructure, potentially leading to costly delays and repairs. Rising sea levels and changing precipitation patterns further compound these challenges, necessitating innovative solutions to mitigate their impact on canal operations. Despite these uncertainties, there are reasons for cautious optimism. The Panama Canal Authority has demonstrated a proactive approach to implementing measures to enhance the canal's resilience in the face of climate change. Investments in water-saving technologies, such as basin systems and desalination plants, underscore a commitment to sustainable management of water resources. Additionally, ongoing expansion projects, such as the widening of locks to accommodate larger vessels, reflect a forward-thinking strategy aimed at meeting the evolving needs of the global shipping industry. Moreover, the Panama Canal's strategic importance as a linchpin of international trade positions it at the forefront of global commerce, with its efficient and cost-effective maritime route serving as a vital artery for the movement of goods between the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans. However, the canal's ability to cope with the increasing demands of the global market remains uncertain amidst the evolving challenges posed by climate change and the need for sustainable adaptation strategies. The trade route responsible for most of the world's commerce is on a precipice of capitulation or revival. Will the canal cope with the increasing demands of the global market? Controversies on the Panama Canal and the U.S. stranglehold. The Panama Canal treaties, currently under Senate deliberation, have sparked one of the most passionate political debates in recent memory. Both sides are vigorously challenging each other's interpretations of history and diplomacy. Amidst the controversy, some questions surrounding the issue have factual answers, while others remain open to interpretation. For instance, the presence of two treaties stems from the distinct political objectives of Panama and the United States. Panama sought to replace the Perpetual Treaty of 1903 with one having a fixed time limit, while the U.S. aimed to secure neutrality and defense guarantees for the canal. The resulting Panama Canal Treaty grants full ownership and control to Panama by 2000, while ensuring neutrality and open access to all nations for the canal. Negotiations for new treaties began during the Johnson administration, spanning 14 years. The Ford administration hesitated due to the approaching 1976 election and ensuing political turmoil. However, the Carter administration proceeded, driven by Panamanian eagerness for an agreement. This then begs the question, why was the U.S. so reluctant to cede control of the canal? Did you enjoy the video? Show some love by liking, sharing, and subscribing. Scroll down to support us and stay tuned for more content like this on our channel.